Anybody got any nice stuff to talk about before we jump into the Steph injury, or should we go straight into it?
Let's get straight to it, man.
Yeah, straight to it.
I'm trying to get a lot of this stuff off my chest tonight, man. So I think
Lead
I
us
think this is good for us to start with this.
lead us off, man. What's on your mind?
Oh man, I just think it's gonna be a rough couple of games, man. And yeah, I mean, obviously Steph is the difference maker in the equation. Without him, like, there's no Warriors basketball. So it's gonna be a tough few games, man. I don't know. I don't know. I keep hearing drama about a trade. I keep hearing drama about, just a lot of things going on. And
It's gonna be more than a few games, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They said like 3 weeks, I think.
yeah, 3 to 4.
No, he was right though. He said it's gonna be a rough few games. We gonna get the ship right in these couple weeks. We got some time. You didn't watch the game today. Hey,
Play like
the first game
first
is always the roughest game.
Play like a
The second
perfect
game might
first-
be rougher. Actually, who they play next?
That's the thing. They played well. That's the scary part. Is that there's
Yeah,
a
they
lot of ways
did,
they did
yeah.
play really well, and they're just like
They
man.
played their best today.
Yeah,
for the
Like,
Raptors next.
and
yeah.
and we had a really hot start that I don't know
Hmm.
how much. Like realistically, I don't know how much
Dante.
times this
Yeah.
team or this squad right here has a start that hot, but
Dante hit
Oh,
5
Dante,
threes in the first quarter.
15 in the first.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was like there's a level to it that's like that. There's probably where your take is like I don't know. Man, like Jordan Poole had like 29. Kuminga played well. Feel like like you said, Dante kind of played one of his better games. Wiseman didn't suck, like it's just like maybe Clay.
Big
Clay's-
Wise was out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
James
Oh, I
Wiseman
really
played.
didn't watch. What?
Yeah,
Okay.
man, had like 6 points, 4 rebounds, 9 minutes.
Kid.
He
Okay.
out there
Okay.
doing this thing. But I think that's the thing is just like Jordan was saying, is all that went well. Besides Clay, Clay was trash. But everything else,
That was the name I was waiting to hear. I was gonna say that's what he's all 3 or 4 of these weeks to figure his shit out.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's it feels like dire times. We'll see. Philly's been playing better basketball recently. I didn't realize N.B.H had 30. I think Harden had 29. So
What's the deal with number 23? What happened? He got suspended or?
Oh, he's hurt. What was
They
it?
didn't want to play because Steph didn't want to play.
Yeah,
That's really what it is.
That's what it really
Got
is.
ejected. Did you know he got ejected? Or
Yeah,
after
yeah,
Steph
yeah.
got
That's what I
hurt,
was
he
saying.
got
He-
ejected.
So
And so he sat out the next game. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just decided.
But was it like suspension or was it just he just decided
there was
like I'm not gonna play?
There was an injury.
Injury.
Because he was questionable technically the game before. I'll see if I can pull it up. But yeah,
He didn't play like shit that game too.
Yeah, he was kind of trash.
Yeah,
that
no,
game. That was one of his
2
worst
points.
games of the season.
1 for 3 versus Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It was like 6
Steph Curry gets
turnovers.
injured. I mean, this is Draymond. That was Draymond's worst nightmare. So I understand why he maybe wants to run home and cry for a little bit. I understand.
Man, just sucks because we could have actually used him tonight because I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like just
Same thing with
I don't know.
Same thing.
Clay
with
with no Steph or Draymond is scary.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah, he got to get back out there
They could have used him at the end of the Indiana game too. Was that Indiana
because
where he got kicked out? No,
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Yeah, because they
Milwaukee.
came back in Milwaukee, right?
with Steph out
Yeah,
after Steph went out.
kind of made it
Forget
close.
if that was close. Got close again.
I think that was the one that got close. The Steph got hurt in the Milwaukee game, right?
Or was
No,
it Indiana?
Indiana, yeah. It was on Indiana. Yeah.
Hurt versus Indiana.
Yeah, Steph
Yeah.
gets hurt versus Indiana.
The Milwaukee one, I think, was just they were up by a dub like the whole time.
Yeah, no, that was
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. No, I was thinking it was the order. Yeah, the Indiana one. Yeah, the Indiana game, the end of the Indiana game when Draymond gets kicked out, like they end up coming back. It was like, oh, this nigga would have been out here. Maybe they pulled that one out too. You could argue if he's out there for those two. Maybe they're at least 1-1 over these last 2 games. But
He's been having a really good season. I
Yeah,
feel like
no, that's the
Draymond, like
thing.
really kind of a bounce back year. If you've been paying attention to Draymond Green's offensive game the last 2 seasons, then you would see he's kind of rejuvenated a little bit. So that helps, I think, balance out his entire game and the role he can offer to the team. But
Yeah, they need him. I mean, this for this stretch without Steph. You know, I feel like in the last 2 years, I would have been really scared about how Draymond how Draymond handles Steph Curry being out. But I feel like where the team is at and where he is at, yeah, he can have a really solid stretch if he keeps his head on straight. Like that's the thing. He's got to it's really
Yeah.
Steph not being out there. Like it's really going to be a test for him to lock in mentally, which maybe he needs to watch this team. Like we were talking about the value of being in this situation, but the value of Steph getting a different perspective of this team. Like Steph's a really smart point guard, really smart basketball mind. For him to be sitting next to Steve Kerr for a couple of weeks, hopefully, if he gets a chance to come to the games and even that, but just
They're both there
what he can learn and offer to the team, I guess through communication. But maybe Draymond needs a couple games to just see how this is gonna go, take it all in, instead of just because it's Draymond. Like you throw him out there, he might have just got ejected tonight. But game versus Joel Embiid, like he might have just got thrown out by halftime, and but no matter how the team was playing, but yeah, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see. I think how Curry and Andre is kind of how I look at it now. How they coach, how they lead this team without Steph Curry. How they develop this team over the next 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, no, I think it's good points about the Draymond part of it, and it could be Draymond has said. I think I put it on the screen. But he has a quad contusion. That's why he missed tonight. So we'll see. Maybe he could just honestly, he's not the sprightest person out there. He might just really need a couple games off, and maybe that's what they need for him to be back for the road trip. And maybe, like I said, I think like Jordan was saying, just Clay without Steph and without Draymond is probably a little of a scarier thought, and kind of the same thing with Poole without either one of them is kind of scary in the same way. So yeah, just if you can get Draymond to kind of manage it all. I was like, they weren't great at the end of the season without Steph last year, but they also like kind of maintain 500 under 500 type play,
Yeah.
and if they can do that, like you put yourself in a spot where you still got a chance when Steph comes back, but we'll see.